There's a significant evolution in online media, channels like Funny or Die. Mm-hmm. How does that change the picture for working actors, people in your position?
Well, what's great is that we now do not have to really wait for the system to give us permission to do what we do. And from a Darwinian standpoint, that means the more skills you have, the more creative talent you have, and by that I mean in multiple disciplines, the more you're likely to succeed. Because if for example, if there are actors out there who do not write, who do not have any desire to create their own content, they want to be that journeyman who goes to auditions and someone gives them a job, gives them the lines, tells them to hit that mark, and then they can finally do their job. But what's great about the internet is that you can now the advantage now goes to the more motivated, the more interested in pursuing disciplines that they may or may not feel as comfortable in as acting, and the desire and the work ethic to continuously create content. And a lot of times, just as it is in traditional pursuit of acting, there's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to do for free, and you have to be willing to put in that work and allow yourself to just trust that the quality of your content will win out, and that there will be an advantage to having that content out there in the end. I have a wonderful friend of mine, Randall Park, who is an incredible filmmaker, and he had this hilarious web series called The Baby Mentalist, where it was this baby that solved crimes, and it was a hilarious web series, and I was in one of them. But for example, he made all of these beautiful hilarious short films, basically, and put them out there, and that got him a lot of attention. And he's now on a pilot. He booked an ABC pilot, and so it's wonderful to see actors who took the initiative, created their own content, generated their own excitement, generated excitement around them because of the content they created, and then that they were able to use that as leverage to straddle their way into traditional media.
And then there were examples like Adam Carolla and Louis C.K., who took advantage of new media to completely circumvent the old guard, and
right.
are doing really, really well on their own through Adam Carolla through his podcasting network, and Louis C.K. is distributing his concert films and so on through his website. So there's no middlemen, no producers, no studios to deal with. They're doing it on their own. It strikes me that with the possibilities now, actors are now enjoying the kind of freedom and opportunity that musicians had. Going back a few years ago, when a lot smarter musicians, realized this, like, okay, we can distribute our music on our own. You can buy a couple $100 worth of software, record an album in your bedroom, distribute it on your own. You don't need the record labels.
Right. And the thing about Louis C.K. is that he created an entirely new model.
Right.
Really. And he trusted in the goodness of his own fans to not pirate it, and to not, and because of the goodwill towards him that these fans had, it became an incredibly successful model, and he did bypass the whole system. Even artists who are, and he was already a successful stand-up comedian, and he had written on, shows such as Chris Rock, and he was already an established writer and comedian. But even he had to go that, let me bypass, the machine, because there's too many barriers even for him. And so for people who aren't even at that level to begin with, it's very freeing to be able to just say, this is my vision, and I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to send it directly to the consumer, and not even have to worry about all these middlemen.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that I had this fortuitous thing happen with Facebook where once I realized that everybody I knew was on that platform, and that I was able to connect with pretty much everyone in my real life on Facebook, I realized, okay, this is what it is, and I am the perfect person to utilize this platform to establish a personal brand as an artist. And that is because with Facebook, the very purpose of it is not this, you're not supposed to write a novel.
Right.
You're not supposed to write, these long, tirades or these huge, long stories. It's really short form, quick, it's same with Twitter, where it's just quick little bon mots, And what I found is that whether you have 100 Facebook friends or you have 4,000 Facebook friends, the consistent thing across the board is that most people on Facebook are incredibly boring, right?
Yeah.
So they are saying things such as, I'm doing laundry, #chores. And that's their status.
Yeah.
Really? That's your that's what you want your 1,200 friends, everyone from your third grade teacher to your boyfriend, you want everybody to read that. Why? Okay, so instead of having that be a deterrent for me, instead of having that be something that pushed me away from Facebook altogether, I thought, okay, this is where I can really shine, because most people are saying doing laundry #chores, but I have the skill and the motivation to say, okay, what if I'm going to post one thing today? What is the funniest thing I can say? And the immediacy of the medium allows me to say, okay, today's joke is going to be something Justin Bieber did 3 hours ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the relevance of it in the moment is so valuable, because people are going to see that as valuable content because it's about something that's happening right now, right? And so I realized that I had this talent that could be, this raw talent that could be shaped and refined through practicing this writing, this joke writing, this short form comedy writing on Facebook and throwing it out there. And, the more often I did that, the jokes became better. Just my ability to be able to generate the material consistently, and just the sheer amount of content I was able to create increased exponentially, because I was just training myself. It was almost as if I was going to a gym.
Yeah.
And to train to train my body, I was training my mind to be able to think, okay, what can I say about Obama's mom jeans today? What can I say about CPAC? What can I say about it? Because I'm a news and political junkie, so I'm watching that stuff all day long. And if I want to say something, it's gonna be much more powerful if I could put it out there right now. And
right.
I don't need really to be on staff at Letterman and have to submit my joke to get the job, first of all, which is a whole ordeal, to get my stuff read and to get an interview, and as a total outsider to that system, and then finally get on staff, and then write 20 jokes, and finally maybe 3 weeks in I'll have Letterman will actually utter my joke I'll get one joke on. I don't have to go through all that. Granted, if I had that, then yes, of course, I would be making a paycheck and all of that.
Right.
But the frustration would still be there, that I have all this content that I want to present in the way that I want, aligned with my vision of what's funny, and I have to wait for all this other stuff to happen in order for it to get to who I want to get it to, right? So what the Facebook does is that I can get it right out there, and yes, it'll reach fewer people, but it's still a way for me to establish my identity, and my stuff just will always stand out because most other people are doing hashtag laundry. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that allowed me, over a few years I've been doing this now, just at least one joke a day. Or I'm linking to a news story that I think is funny, and I'll put a joke on top of it. What I originally did that to just as a way of not just establishing my brand and serving myself, but really more because I love funny things, and I want to put it out there, and I want to share it with people, and I want to make people laugh. And so what I didn't realize that was doing was that consistently over a few years, I realized that was generating a lot of goodwill that I didn't even realize was coming towards me, because, the people who like or comment on something you do on Facebook, that's a mere fraction of the people that are actually reading it, right?
Right.
So then I'll see people in real life, at a bar where a bunch of people are getting together, and someone will come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm your Facebook friends. I'm Facebook friends with you. I love your posts. You're so funny." And then I'll say, "But you've never liked or commented on anything I've ever written." But it doesn't matter. They're still reading it, and they like it.
That's effect of social media. Most people, there's a lot of, millions of people using Facebook, Twitter, what have you, but most of them are lurkers.
Right.
They're not active participants. They're just watching the stream go by.
I just don't understand.